Hey all, hope you all are doing very well. Don't mind the road noise. I'm in my yard over at Dinner Island Ranch down in South Central Florida where I'm working, and I was really fortunate today. I caught this little ring-necked snake. Now what's interesting with this is this is part of the southern ring-necked population. This is a nominate subspecies. There he goes, making a break for it. Now what you'll notice when I catch him, he does this coiling display with his tail. You'll notice it's very red. He's musking, coiling all over the place, right? Just really covering my hand with some gross stuff. In this coiling display, you really only see in the populations that have a red tail. That is the southern Florida, or I should say the peninsular Florida population of Punctatus. In Mississippi and possibly Louisiana, you have another population, Stictogenes, I believe. And then in the west, you have Arni, which is kind of the trans-Mississippi area, and possibly Indocilus, which is why Myers, in his 1965 kind of study on the life history of these guys in Florida, talked about how he believed that these populations, the red tail, that this was kind of a, this combination of a red tail coiling display was sort of a relic trait from the western populations as they would have moved east and colonized more of North America. So these are one of the more widespread and quite frankly abundant snakes out here. They love to be in forested areas, generally moister areas, and they prefer to be under different kind of brush and debris. But one thing I also want to talk about with this display, right, is mammals don't see red. So this display is probably directed either at other reptiles or more, I think more likely at birds. And what is very, very interesting about it is, I think it was Malcolm and a couple other authors from the University of Arkansas did a study comparing other species of snakes that lived in similar habitat, also had brightly colored undertails, things like DeKay's brown snake, eastern worm snake. And what they found was that these snakes that also had brightly colored undersides, brightly colored undertails, but did not practice this tail coiling display, what they found is that they had, when they were comparing specimens, that they had far less instances of tail damage. So what it seems to me is, and to the authors as well, is what you have with this display is a distraction display that's designed to force to get the predator to attack the tail rather than the head, hopefully giving them a chance to escape. Of the 200 specimens that they looked at, a total of 19 had tail damage. And so, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that was, you're talking almost 10% of all of their specimens actually were displaying damage consistent with this display as a distraction display. One other thing I'd like to talk about just before I give this guy his freedom is that most of these subspecies have rear fangs. These guys feed on a lot of different invertebrates and small terrestrial vertebrates, but they've got rear fangs and a venom that's and a venom. At least that's what I can gather. And that's the case of all the subspecies except for the northern population. The Edwardsi population actually lacks the fangs entirely. I'm not saying they don't have venom, but they don't have fangs on the back, near the back of the head, which is pretty interesting. Oh no, no love, no love, no love. All right, give me a second. I want to get this, I know he's making his break for it, but I want to actually release him as close to home as I reasonably can. So we're going to take him. He's been really good to me, and I'm just going to go and release this beautiful animal right back where I found him, underneath this nice bit of metal sheeting. Normally what's interesting too, I want to say, is with the southern population, the neck ring would be broken. In this case, it actually isn't. But if you look on the underside, you've got this really nice dark central spotting, which is very, very diagnostic for the southern population. Anywho, just like truly, truly beautiful snake. Really, really lovely animal. And now, give you your freedom. You can go back home, buddy. Yeah, go on. I know you want to. There we go. There we go. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I guess I'll let you go, but you know, South Florida where I am, there's a lot of really exotic things, a lot of really beautiful things. But I guess as a final note, what I'd just like to say is I'm starting this new channel. I hope you tune in. I hope you enjoy it. But a lot of the time, even if we see some things that are really interesting and, you know, unusual, I really want to focus on some of these more common species like ringneck snakes. We'll see what else we can see. But what I want to focus on is kind of the different... There's a lot of real beauty in the things that are immediately around you. And I'd like to focus on that because often, you know, we go chasing different stuff that's further afield. And it's nice sometimes to be able to look at even really, really common, really abundant life or really mundane features on the landscape or, you know, definitely some interesting historical stuff we'll be talking about. And just be able to appreciate where you are and what you're sharing your land with. Anywho, I think I've probably talked enough. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.